Before I start running my mouth about the government agenda, let's point out the newest shooting. We know Charlie Kirk situation. We know that was a Navy shooting. There's been about at least anywhere from 5 to 10 mass shootings in the past 2 months. You hear me? 2 months. 2 months. And there's, I heard a government official addressing these shootings, and he said this is going to be the new norm in America. Let me stop before I play the video about this Dallas ICE shooting, because we all need to watch the video before I start running my mouth about it, just to get a layout of what happened. And I'm going to break down to you the Charlie Kirk situation, all of this mass shooting that's happening right now, and what the government's saying about it. And see, I saw a conference they was having about these shooters, and the dude was like, well, this is becoming it's the normal in America now. It's crazy that mass shootings is the normal in America now, and that's what people was trying to tell Charlie Kirk right before he was unalived by a mass shooter. Or, well, I wouldn't say a mass shooter. He didn't shoot a massive amount of people, but what's a rooftop shooter? They're linking mass shooters, rooftop shooters, assassins, and all that in the same public safety threat sort of umbrella, which they should. It's a deeper issue to discuss whether or not it's, because the main narrative is, should we be dealing with gang violence and black people, or is the white man got a violence problem? The truth is, equally, the white man is equally violent, just like the black man, and that mass shootings, snipers, assassins is more of a public safety concern than the ghetto, as some say, because that is confined just to the ghetto. Whereas these shooters here can be anywhere at any time. They're militant. This is like a terrorist. It's like a domestic terrorism. Now, instead of bringing up the divisive conversation of black versus white violence, I want to come and show y'all how they're using all that to take away more of our rights, to bring in a military police state and a surveillance state. And I also want to show video footage today. Well, not footage, but I want to share my theory with you on why I think Charlie Kirk is still alive, and that this is all part of the New World Order agenda to take away freedom of speech, gun rights, and bring us into a surveillance police military state. Let's play the video of this newest shooting in Dallas, and we'll tie all this stuff and come with my agenda and all that.
Steve, what can you tell us from there?
Good morning. There was a massive police presence out here. In fact, we were trying to get over to the scene, but we had to bail off of I-35 just because it was an absolute parking lot. I'm sure Chip's been reporting, and your vantage point may even be better than ours at this point. Empire Central closed at the service road. Again, folks trying to get past this scene on 35. We bailed and came here to Parkland. It is the closest trauma center to this scene, and we can expect that this is where folks will be transported. You can hear probably the sirens behind me. Again, tons of police activity out here as folks race to the scene. As I'm sure Sean just reported, we're talking about 3 people shot who were in ICE custody. A male shooter on the rooftop shot himself when approached by law enforcement. As the rain continues to fall here, I can tell you that very much a fluid situation here, and very much expected that these folks would be brought here to Parkland. We can certainly keep you updated on their condition.
All right, Steve Noviello live there at Parkland. We appreciate that. We also want to check in with David Brown, former police chief in Dallas. He's on the line as well. Former Chief Brown, Sean Rabb mentioned this earlier. I don't know if when you hear this scene or if you've seen any of the coverage here, does this invoke thoughts in your mind of 7/7?
It really does, and thank you guys for having me on. Making sure you can hear me okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it really does bring back those kinds of memories, but you guys are hitting all the right.
Give a shout out to Akira Brown for becoming a member of this channel, a member of this family.
Points when you talk about it's just such a live situation right now. You really want to eliminate whether there's any other suspects that's part of this attack this morning on the ICE facility, harming 3 people. So that's one of the top priorities for law enforcement right now, to eliminate any possibility that there's others involved.
And I
feel like we would have heard if they thought there was a second one at this point. I mean, Dallas Police is now moving to say, hey, we're doing a media staging area. We're going to be giving a news conference in a little bit. I would think if this was still a possible active, like maybe there was a second suspect, they wouldn't already be moving to try to get us in a spot.
You see that? Y'all heard that? I wanted you to play this shit. Boy, did you hear that? Now check this out, right? They got an active suspect, 3 people shot. The scene ain't even secure. We don't even know if there's other suspects, how many people armed, and they already trying to bring in the news channel. Oh my God. Come on now, people, what a failure. They so quick to promote fear. And I'm going to show y'all why, because I'm telling you, my theory is spot on about taking away more rights, freedom of speech, gun laws. And what's really deep about it is bringing in an excuse to have this radical surveillance state. And if you think you know about Palantir and the surveillance state, stick around. I'm going to share some receipts with y'all about what they about to bring in to combat these shooters. It is scary. Now watch this, people. Hey, shout out to Motivation at Hand for becoming a member of this channel, a member of this family. Appreciate y'all so much. People, let them speak on the video, and then I'm gonna tell y'all the agenda. But let's go ahead and unpack what happened. See, but that caught me because they so quick to promote the agenda. They ain't even worried about them people's lives. Shooters still ain't even, I don't even know if they got the suspects secure at this point, but they already, hey, bring in the news. Why? Because they have an agenda to promote the scare. It make me think that all of this stuff is staged, right? Now, shout out to Supremo, just showing some love. Thank you. I'm going to show you why I'm doubting Charlie Kirk's joint. Shout out to Taylor Price. I didn't know that they said the bullet was stuck in his neck. Charlie Kirk's final miracle revealed by a surgeon who examined Charlie Kirk's neck. His bone stopped a rifle round that should have gone through a moose. That's facts. Doctors say this is an absolute miracle and likely spared countless others on that day. Y'all hear that? I want to pull up the bullet to a Mauser sniper rifle. The big boy. Ooh. The big boy. That's a big boy right there, man. That ain't getting stuck in nobody. That's blowing your joint open like a watermelon. Come on, man. Look what they said got stuck in his neck, y'all. These go through bricks, people. These go through bricks right here. Here go Mauser ammunition. He got shot with a Mauser, bro. A Mauser sniper. That's 7.92. Bro, let me give y'all an example of how big this bullet is. Guess how big a M4, a M16 military assault rifle bullet is? 7.62. So in the military, I'm shooting shit the size of this. Look, that's like 7.62. This is 7.92. That chart, and you know how soft the neck is. Imagine that going through a watermelon. Oh no, I'm not falling for it. That it's just the average everyday citizen can go for that. But when you know guns, when you literally know guns, once they said a bullet was stuck in his neck, ain't no way this making no sense, bro. Ain't no way this, like he said, these bullets can go through a moose easily. It ain't getting stuck on nothing. It's going straight through the moose. These guns is dropping big game in the field. It ain't getting stuck in nothing. It's shattering bones. Like I said, these bullets go through bricks. I want y'all to keep in mind that your bone can't compare to a brick. And they can say, and the thing why I'm saying your bone don't compare to a brick, what make it even more worse is that these bullets don't even get stuck in bricks. A AK-47 bullet is around these sizes, and they go through bricks, which is why when niggas shoot the projects up, everybody, it don't matter if you got bricks. And they don't have a problem going through they go through bricks like butter. These go through bricks like butter. This ain't getting stuck in no human bone. It's shattering a bone. It ain't getting stuck in nothing. So Charlie Kirk death is mysterious. It don't add up. All of these mass shootings just out of nowhere make me think something about the shooters and how this can all be staged. Right? And what are the measures that they want to take to deal with mass shooters and assassins? What are the measures they want to take to deal with rooftop shooters? Well, I told y'all they want to bring in the drone police system. I've been telling y'all that. Yeah. Imagine going outside every day and the sky is full of drones everywhere just spying on you. Now, they already got cameras on every intersection, but that ain't enough. You're talking about they about to implement in the future. You gonna walk outside every day and see just drones doing their little, like a security roving patrol. They're gonna man the sky with drones, and these drones are gonna be on patrols 24/7, policing us. Why? Because the mass shooters are on top of rooftops. How are we gonna police the rooftops? Guess what? Soon as they shot Charlie Kirk from the rooftop, I said to myself, why don't they just have some drones secure the place? Duh. And I didn't even know that I was falling for a psyop. They're gonna make you ask for the fucking police state. They're gonna make you ask for the surveillance state. It's the smart thing to do. Soon as I saw Charlie Kirk, I said, duh, all they gotta do is have drones. That's what they gonna do. They gonna give us what we have. This is all a psyop. All a psyop.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, but at the same time, this investigation is just starting. So there's a lot of work to do to figure out who this guy is, like you guys have been mentioning. Where's his vehicle? Today you got to look at people's social media once you identify who they are to see what kinds of things have they been posting to try to give you some clues about motive.
Are these some of the things that you can talk about or tell us that are happening behind the scenes that we don't see on screen without discussing tactics or anything? But what can you tell us about what's happening behind the scenes right now?
Well, behind the scenes, there's a lead agency. So because it's on a federal facility, will the feds take the lead? Will Dallas County take the lead? Or will the Dallas Police Department take the lead?
Think about this, right? All of the shootings that we've been seeing have been rooftop. It's been situations where a lack of coverage was kind of the issue. So we can't see on top of roofs. Also, there are areas that just can't be manned by police like that, but they are areas of huge public concern. Like, remember the Las Vegas jam shooting when the dude went in the jam? So what they're gonna be implementing is drone patrols and drone networks, because this is their way of responding to all of these shootings. Okay. And we're gonna take a look at this video about the drones. They're gonna, let me pull this up for y'all. Read. Experimental drones developed to neutralize mass shooters and disable weapons. So check this out, right? They can have drones that can disable your weapon, because I don't know how that would work, but maybe it can trigger some kind of mechanism in the gun or something. I don't know. But yeah, let's take a look at this.
You could have these installed. Drones are fast becoming the must-have tool in policing. Now the next generation is here. Tonight, the I-Team with drones that answer 911 calls on their own, and one of the first looks at an experimental drone system designed to foil would-be mass shooters. At the suburban Oak Brook Police Department, much like other agencies, drones are deployed and directed by humans.
We deploy them quite often.
Just last month, the department was called to help state police track down a person fleeing a vehicle wanted in connection with a shooting. The drone's thermal imaging technology helped spot and pinpoint that person fleeing. Now the department is going to the next level with a drone as a first responder.
It's not operated by someone traditionally holding a joystick. It's able to deploy itself.
The drone, made by Flock Safety, uses AI technology that's tied into the command center and deploys on its own from a roof to specific 911.
What did I tell y'all? An autonomous policing system that really don't need a lot of human intervention. But the cost we paying is like privacy. But I mean, check this out, right? This is gonna morph into even more sort of radical approaches to police us. But my thing is, right, we have the National Guard and the hoods for the gang violence. And when they say, well, what we gonna do about the mass shootings? Police you with drones. See, they using the black versus white to make everyone buy into this new police AI system, this new military state, this new police state. Because you got a bunch of black folks that's like, we need to bring the National Guard in the hood. It's too much crime. And then the black folks that's on the other side are saying, yeah, we agree with you that it's a lot of crime, but what they doing about the white crime? They just bringing the National Guard to Chicago to the hood. What they gonna do about the white men? See, That's how we fall for the propaganda, because we agree, okay, let's put the military in the hood. We in a police state. And then once they get the black folks taken care of, they say, now we got to bring it to the white folks. And the black folks are going to be the ones make us do it, because they going to say, what about the white man? What you going to do about all these mass shootings? And they going to say, yeah, they right, people. Now that we policing them with the National Guard, now we got to bring the drones in. Everyone asking for this. We asking for it. Because the black folks ain't going to deny the fact that, okay, they right. The hood have a lot of crime and violence. But what about the white man? What you doing about him? So now everyone get police more. And you going to ask for it because you want to get back at each other. This been the plan all along. They using the gang violence argument to put the military involved in civilian life. So like they going to war with civilians. Our own military is on us. The police state is real, man. It ain't a conspiracy no more. So they used the gang violence to get the military activated, and they used the mass shootings to get the drone police, the AI police from the eye in the sky, the big brother. Big psyop.
Drones are fast becoming the must-have tool in policing. Now the next generation is here. Tonight, the I-Team with drones that answer 911 calls on their own, and one of the first looks at an experimental drone system designed to foil would-be mass shooters. At the suburban Oak Brook Police Department, much like other agencies, drones are deployed and directed by humans.
We deploy them quite often.
Just last month, the department was called to help state police track down a person fleeing a vehicle wanted in connection with a shooting. The drone's thermal imaging technology helps spot and pinpoint that person fleeing. Now the department is going to the next level with a drone as a first responder.
It's not operated by someone traditionally.
This is very important. Having a drone as a first responder. I'll replay it and I'll build on it.
To the next level with a drone as a first responder.
That is a very big deal in law enforcement, because a first responder is the first one to interact with the suspect. A first responder is the first one that got to give any medical aid. The first responder is the first one to get a visual of the scene to gather data and information that may be crucial evidence. I have a law enforcement background, and most people, it ain't gonna hit them when they hear the idea of a drone or a robot being a first responder. But if you are in a law enforcement background, then you know that this is a very historic moment for law enforcement. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. This is a big deal, because the first responder in law enforcement is such an important job that's been known to have been a human job, that having a robot first responder, it is a historical moment. It's a turning point in law enforcement, and it's a groundbreaking moment in technology. So don't let that go over your head, that they're gonna be having robots be the first responders. When robots become the first responders, they'll become the last responders. This is the first step of them replacing humans altogether. This is like saying we just gonna have a robot quarterback for our football team, but everybody else is human. But remember, the role of the quarterback is very important. He pretty much is the control panel for the whole team. But I mean the offense, you know, which dictate the points. Like, that's big. So the first responder in law enforcement is big. That's like the QB. You know, he gonna be the man that's over that scene, relaying directly the information to the detectives and everyone else. You're turning that job over to a robot, a drone, That's very big for law enforcement. Very big.
Them quite often.
Just last month, the department was called to help state police track down a person fleeing a vehicle wanted in connection with a shooting. The drone's thermal imaging technology helped spot and pinpoint that person fleeing. Now the department is going to the next level with a drone as a first responder.
It's not operated by someone traditionally holding a joystick. It's able to deploy itself.
And that's the part y'all missing. So not only do we have AI robot, the drone being the first responder, a lot of people gonna say, but Sanchez is still a human because humans control the drone. Nope. This drone have its own mind, its own brain. This is the first step to AI policing you. This drone ain't gonna be told what to do. It just get up and go out when it get some sort of trigger or whatever, because it's connected to the camera systems. And I guess it'll be activated through suspicious activity, or boom, the drone will just get up and go out. So let's say you say, okay, I need to fix my roof today, and I own this little building downtown. You know, I got a laundromat downtown. I got a roof leak. I'm going to be up on my laundromat roof downtown for the next couple weeks. You may notice, hey, why is that drone keep flying over me? Well, your activity is suspicious. It is activating a drone that ain't even being manned by a human. The drone is connected to the Big Brother camera system out there. When they see suspicious activity and stuff, especially on rooftops, that may trigger the algorithm to release a drone to come out and look what the hell you doing on this rooftop. You may tell the drone in the future, hey, it's just me, I'm fixing my roof, man. You don't gotta shoot me, you know. That's where we going. The drone ain't manned. It's triggered by certain algorithms, like how a YouTube video will be flagged down, but the algorithms ain't perfect, which is why they should be very slow to arm these things, because you know they're going to arm them. They're going to arm them because, remember, these things are going to have to neutralize a shooter. It's the first responder. Why are they making a robot the first responder? So they can give it a gun? Let me give y'all some game. The question is, why are we rushing to make AI a first responder? The first responder needs some weaponry because he's going to confront the suspect first. You make the drone, what else is it going to protect y'all from that mass shooter? How is it going to neutralize the mass shooter? They need an excuse to put the gun in AI hand. And see, it's hard for you to give AI a gun and tell it to police Americans without a fight. But the way they're rolling is out, they ain't gonna get no pushback. It's such a psychological mindfuck.
Drones are fast becoming the must-have tool in policing. Now the next generation is here. Tonight, the I-Team with drones that answer 911 calls on their own, and one of the first looks at an experimental drone system designed to foil would-be mass shooters. At the suburban Oak Brook Police Department, much like other agencies, drones are deployed and directed by humans.
We deploy them quite often.
Just last month, the department was called to help state police track down a person fleeing a vehicle wanted in connection with a shooting. The drone's thermal imaging technology helped spot and pinpoint that person fleeing. Now the department is going to the next level with a drone as a first responder.
It's not operated by someone traditionally holding a joystick. It's able to deploy itself.
The drone, made by Flock Safety, uses AI technology that's tied into the command center and deploys on its own from a roof to specific 911 calls.
Getting eyes on the ground prior to officers' arrival, that's going to be huge.
In north suburban Libertyville, several former Navy SEALs and
I ain't gonna lie, from a police perspective, it's like, why not? But again, this here is to do what? Bring in a military state to bring more authority and police force over civilians in the name of I'm protecting you from mass shooters. I'm protecting you from gang violence. Therefore, we got the National Guard, the Reserve, and the National Guard and Reserve have been buying a lot of sound weapons that's made to control crowds. Right. Look, don't you know that our government have been spending money on weapons that ain't made to fight foreign enemies? It's made to control domestic civilians from riots. And now the National Guard and Reserve have been training with this stuff for the past couple of years, and they've been bragging on their little fancy sound defense. But see, people, this is not made to go overseas and fight a foreign threat. They've been training on technology for the past couple of years to police Americans, to be militant against their own. In other words, crowd control weapons. If you got a bunch of Americans resisting, they don't want to obey curfew, or you got a bunch of Americans that just say we want to gather here for a vigil for something. If Big Brother say move, he'll give you a couple of warnings. If the crowd don't dissipate, they can turn this thing on, and it literally starts to cause an internal pain. It feels very uncomfortable to the point people ball up, and there is it's like fucking torture. It is inhumane, y'all. It's inhumane because you're literally targeting people on a sonic level with sound, and this stuff here is manipulating like internal, like there has to be some kind of side effects of using this on crowds, but they don't think about it. Now, the thing is this right here. This is all part of the new police state, the new world of drones flying over your city every day, policing you, cameras everywhere, curfews, and the National Guard asking you for a certain ID. If you out at a certain time, then your ID need to have a certain stamp on it, because other than that, you curfew like you living on a military base. Them bringing the National Guard into our communities is them extending the federal government's military authority. They basically expanding the boundaries of every military base and policing us on a militant level. In other words, we got a threat. We got a president in office. He feels like the threat is right here. When he say make America great again, his plan is to get out the deep state, to get out the evildoers. These are moral words. And this turns into a dictatorship of anyone that's not doing it the MAGA way. With the MAGA, you know. But they've been training with this stuff. This is not for foreign threats. This for y'all. So them bringing the military out is one step of the plan already. Getting you normalized with the idea of the federal government policing you with the American military. Step one, check. We got that out the way. Step two, getting you normalized to the idea of drone networks surveilling you every day. That's step two.
The business entrepreneur are working on the next aerial technological evolution.
Now it's locked on to Nate. As Nate presents, it strikes at Nate, so that's the show of force that we're talking about.
You're watching an indoor drone designed to detect and potentially stop a mass shooting on its own before police even have a chance to respond.
The drone is looking for a threat who's carrying a weapon.
Members of Breakcourt Solutions demonstrating their close-quarter drone for the I-Team. Equipping drones with firearms is illegal in the United States, so the concept with this system is designed to track the threat and then neutralize the weapon instead of the shooter.
So the police are saying, we got these new drones. They could be the answer to neutralizing mass shooters, right? But the only obstacle is, in America, we can arm our drones like they can in China. So this is the first step of a psyop to where they're going to implement these things and they're going to find out, okay, these are kind of efficient, but they could be better if we could arm them. And guess what they're going to say? Don't trip, guys. All right, we're just giving them non-lethal guns. All right, they're just only gonna shoot you with a beanbag, right? And then that's gonna upgrade to, listen, we need real rounds in some cases. They always are working on a, if you give me an inch, I'm gonna take a mile type concept. So this is their inch right here, to where we get to have the drones policing you, but they're not armed, so chill out. You giving them an inch by having the drones policing you. Now, and eventually they're going to say, but these could be a lot more efficient if we could give them some sort of neutralizing power. Don't trip. It's going to be non-lethal at first. But then, just like in China, you're going to have dogs with real guns. And they ain't gonna be controlled by a remote. They're gonna be AI walking on their own. They doing their own thing with a real gun. We almost there. We becoming China slowly but surely under Trump for sure.
Who's carrying a weapon?
Members of Breakcourt Solutions demonstrating their close-quarter drone for the I-Team. Equipping drones with firearms is illegal in the United States, so the concept with this system is designed to track the threat and then neutralize the weapon instead of the shooter.
Once the threat is detected, now it could begin tracking, begin following that individual, providing real-time information to first responders.
The inventors don't want to reveal trade secrets, only explaining that the drone can also lock in on a weapon and then strike the side of it, dispensing an adhesive substance that essentially jams the firearm's inner workings.
So the internal functions of the firearm no longer.
So once they have the drone shooting anything at you, they can eventually begin the process of having it shooting everything at you. You got to start somewhere. That's the point.
It disrupts the bulk carrier group of AR-style rifles, semi-automatic pistols, pump action, and semi-automatic shotguns. And those are 95% of the weapons utilized in active shooter situations.
The concept is for the drone system to be housed throughout a building, activating when trouble is detected. The inventors comparing the prototype to a sprinkler system.
Well, why don't we have the modern day sprinkler system to active shooters and mass shootings? That's what we're developing.
Now, the close-quarter drone system is now being integrated with other security companies. And
all right, I want y'all, because listen, we can talk about mass shootings in America all day, but do y'all want to know the end goal of all of these psyops? Because I'm starting to think we are in Hollywood and that the people involved are all crisis actors, from the shooters to the people dying. How do we know it ain't all a big stage, scripted out, just to get us to a certain level with our laws and rights? Just to get us to this China, this police state, because that's where we headed. And it seemed like at this time there's a lot of so-called shootings, and now we got to do something about it. Like, it's so, the timing of it, right, under Trump, it just seems so staged and scripted.
So that's number one, identifying who's the lead, or it could be a collaborative where they all kind of work together, multi-jurisdictional leads. But that's number one, because then that prompts certain types of things and resources available. Of course, at some point, they'll do a press conference, or statement to make sure the public knows. Like you mentioned, by now you would think downtown safe or the area is safe, but you do want a statement at least at this point. So that's likely being prepared and hopefully sent out soon, so you guys can get a little bit more information. And finally, the investigation process itself. Even though the suspects apparently killed himself, you still have a full investigation to determine.
And that's the thing, like, in a lot of these mass shootings, the suspect killed themselves. And that's so convenient, because whenever you have the suspect kill themselves, you don't have no one to talk. Like, if that person is MK Ultra, you just get rid of the sleeper cell. Think about it, right? Let's say you got these sleeper cells, these government babies, these underground military babies. These kids don't really grow up in the regular society. They are raised to be assassins and then they die. They like a kamikaze. You do the job and kill yourself. You bred for that. People, it's actually people that's like that on this earth. I hope you know that, right? Now check this out, right? You have like people that's retarded. I hate to use that word. They ain't got their mind right like us. And they know, and a lot of people know when they see a baby, that baby, he's kind of retarded. Them would be sleeper cells. They would use those kids and tell them a fucked up doctrine their whole life and make them hate y'all, make them be like a kamikaze killer. They will breed them their whole life for that one moment. And they will tell them, look, and after you do, this is your whole life is for this. They got cults, like they will tell them, these people are Goyim. These people are evil. You helping out your cult. You helping your people out. These folks cuckoo. And they'll go in there, shoot up the church and blow their own brains out. The police come to the scene like, what the? It's people bred for that. This stuff don't happen from regular people. You don't just bust up somewhere killing random people that ain't done nothing to you and kill yourself. And at the end of it, the government say, we got drones. We got them drones for you. And we got AI for you. And I'm like, wait a minute. In a lot of stories, there's a mass shooter. He killed everybody, killed himself. He didn't know none of the people he killed, just some random shit. And then now we got to take more of your rights away. Now we got to bring in the military. Now that's some government type, bro. That smells fishy. That smells fishy, bro.
Not just motive, but just what happened, why it happened, and what types of things this apparent suspect was planning to do. Was this targeted to these particular individuals that were harmed, or was this kind of a blanket attack? We just don't know a lot at this point, and it's just the beginning of the investigation.
Wisdom, thought, facts. The movie Hitman show you what I'm talking about. Boy, they breed. People be saying sleeper cell. But they think the sleeper cell is just this government military agent that's waiting to be activated by MK Ultra or some sort of signal. Bro, sleeper cells come in so many forms. Even gangs got their own sleeper cells. They breed you in that gang from a little boy to hate the enemy. And they tell you your whole life ain't nothing better than getting blood on your hand, than getting some teardrops under your eyes. Some gangsters will tell you shooting the enemy is better than getting money. And they ain't lying to you neither. That's a form of currency in the game. Like, that's like giving me a bag if you just knocked off 2-3 of the ops in a game. But the whole thing is, yeah, they breed kids like how the government breeds sleeper cells in the game to be a crash out shooter. At a certain age, they already know that boy was gonna crash out. They bred him that way. It ain't no shock to him. And he gonna go up in there, shoot up the whole shit and care nothing about it and wait for the police. That's a sleeper cell. We breed sleeper cells too, man. But they know how to do it better than us.
I'm curious, what do you know about this immigration building? We were told the 3 that were shot were in ICE custody. Do they bring people in there that are in custody? Are they transporting there? Are they held there? Do you know anything about that?
I don't, but if people are being brought in, it's either a federal facility or a Dallas County facility that's a temporary holding for federal transport to a federal facility. So I just don't know the details. Just waiting for the statement from police or law enforcement or federal law enforcement to determine all that information.
I also think it's important to point out this is what.
And what you got to realize while I'm playing the video is so y'all can see what kind of circles and clusterfuck this is. They're waiting for federal law enforcement and local law enforcement to give any details. Any means they don't know nothing. They be doing all of these interviews, right, where they just show up to say, we don't know nothing at this point. They don't know shit yet, right? But the law authorities at the scene are already telling them to bring the news people in. So y'all ain't even y'all are slow to investigate, but quick to bring in the media. And therefore, when the media get there, don't nobody know shit. So what the hell we show up reporting about? Because really the end goal is just to scare you with mass shootings so you can okay a surveillance state and a police state. You don't need details in that. You just need a big story. There was a shooting at the Dallas ICE building. What does that mean? More police. Okay, point blank, the PSYOP done. Why are you calling the news in and you ain't even started no investigations? The place even halfway secure. I don't even know if they even know how many suspects yet. But let's hurry up and let everybody know that it's something to be scared about. We don't even know what the hell going on yet. But we know enough to bring the news in, and when they show up, it's 6 minutes of we don't know. We waiting. Yeah, y'all stupid, and it's showing the PSYOP like it's a PSYOP. This how PSYOPs work.
At Parkland Hospital. Steve, what can you tell us from there?
Good morning. There was a massive police presence out here. In fact, we were trying to get over to the scene, but we had to bail off of I-35 just because it was an absolute parking lot. I'm sure Chip's been reporting, and your vantage point may even be better than ours at this point. Empire Central closed at the service road. Again, folks trying to get past this scene on 35. We bailed and came here to Parkland. It is the closest trauma center to this scene, and we can expect that this is where folks will be transported. You can hear probably the sirens behind me. Again, tons of police activity out here as folks race to the scene. As I'm sure Sean just reported, we're talking about 3 people shot who were in ICE custody. A male shooter on the rooftop shot himself when approached by law enforcement. As the rain continues to fall here, I can tell you that very much of
it don't make no sense to me, because think about how you know these PSYOPs is PSYOPs. The shooter never shoot the police, y'all. Oh, my God. Ain't no police never wounded. You got these crazy, insane-ass mass shooters. They always shoot the public and shoot theyself. But the police, they ain't gonna shoot the police now. They ain't that crazy, I guess. It's just so many things that don't make sense. Why wouldn't he start shooting the police? Like, let me take me some police officers before I go. Because you know what? That would have changed the PSYOP. The PSYOP is about mass shooters and surveilling the public with drones. If you say a police got shot, you're going to change the PSYOP to polices need to be protected. That's going to be the narrative is going to be maybe he, have a disdain for authority. Maybe it was ultimately to go to war with the police. I don't know, but maybe it'll be a whole nother narrative if you have a police dead. It'll take away from the fact that it's just innocent people dying from mass shooters. And how do we solve the problem? Police the public with drones. You don't want a police hit because you don't want none to mess that narrative up that I just said. And that might just kind of mess the narrative up. Because I was wondering, like, why wouldn't he shoot the police? And if you think about it, if this is all staged, that will kind of have alternative narratives coming up. When they come with a psyop, they're giving you a narrative. And the narrative is always, take more of my rights away. Take my gun away. Police me more. They ain't gonna say that. They gonna make you ask for that. So I'm saying that narrative can be kind of muddy if you have a police get shot. Which why that don't make sense that he wouldn't shoot one.
A fluid situation here, and very much expected that these folks would be brought here to Parkland. We can certainly keep you updated on their condition.
All right, Steve Noviello live there.
Appreciate you for the super chat, Justin Vibrano.
At Park.
Vibramo.
We appreciate that. We also want to check in with David Brown, former police chief in Dallas. He's on the line as well. Former Chief Brown, Sean Rabb mentioned this earlier. I don't know if when you hear this scene or if you've seen any of the coverage here, does this invoke thoughts in your mind of 7/7?
It really does. And thank you guys for having me on. Making sure you can hear me okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it really does bring back those kinds of memories. But you guys are hitting all the right points when you talk about it's just such a live situation right now. You really want to eliminate whether there's any other suspects that's part of this attack this morning on the ICE facility harming.
So keep in mind, they haven't eliminated any other suspects. You have a crime scene that's basically non-secure. But watch this.
3 people. So that's one of the top priorities for law enforcement right now, to eliminate any possibility that there's others involved.
And I
feel like we would have heard if they thought there was a second one at this point. I mean,
how the fuck would you would have heard it if they still secure in the area? A police have a big old perimeter to clear. It may be a whole entire block, bro. And they got to go through every alley, every nook and cranny, clear every building. You see how many police cars out there? That's why people who never done law enforcement should shut the hell up. Like, you're a reporter, be quiet. So until they clear that whole perimeter, they can't tell you how many suspects it is. Simple. They don't know if they open up a closet and whoa, there go another dude with a gun. So that was just dumb as hell what she said.
Harming 3 people. So that's one of the top priorities for law enforcement right now, to eliminate any possibility that there's others involved.
And I
feel like we would have heard if they thought there was a second one at this point.
Like them women just be talking, like squinching their eyes and shit. But you know what? You don't even know what you talk. Just shut up.
I mean, Dallas police is now moving to say, hey, we're doing a media staging area. We're going to be giving a news conference in a little bit. I would think if this was still a possible active, like maybe there was a second suspect, they wouldn't already be moving to try to get us in a spot.
But that's what I'm talking about, is because they working with the same people. Think about it. The shit is staged. They haven't even secured the scene. It can be other suspects, and y'all already calling up the news, telling them to come to the area to report. You putting their life in jeopardy. Ain't no police department gonna have that liability, which let me know this shit is staged. If you don't think the police be involved with staging stuff, they got a whole video of the LAPD staging a scene before the news come to paint the narrative to the public. So that even the news lady saying that, Why they trying to get us there to report in a non-secure? Find all the suspects first. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to announce it till they find them all. The fact they haven't announced it and they still looking, but while they so-called looking, they saying, hey, call up the news too and tell them to come report this. Does that make sense to y'all?
Stupid.
No, it don't. It's staged.
But would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, but at the same time, this investigation is just starting. So there's much.
So, but that's y'all just started the investigation. Why you want the news at your scene? Any investigator would tell you, please don't let the media show up at my scene. We just begin. People, let me tell y'all something. I was in law enforcement. I'm going to tell you some real shit. Investigators don't call the news. Investigators don't want the news to show up. You're in their way. Investigators hate the media because they show up at the beginning of the damn investigation, messing up evidence, stepping on shit, asking questions we don't know yet, getting in the way. Move. So the fact that y'all just started the investigation and at the same time your investigators say, and call up Fox and ABC too, tell them to come on to my scene that I ain't even investigated yet. It may still even be active shooters, but make sure Fox and ABC get their little area set up right here. Make sure we set them up right here. You got their staging area? Come on, they're gonna need some water. They're gonna need vendors right here. Come on, get the shit coming now. Does that make sense to y'all?
A lot of work to do to figure out who this guy is, like you guys been mentioning. Where's his vehicle? Today you got to look at people's social media once you identify who they are to see what kinds of things have they been posting to try to give you some clues about motive.
Now we need to start policing people's private lives. Y'all see what's happening in America? All of the psyops is heading toward drones policing you in your cities every day, networks of drones, military present with curfews, and guess what? Social credit and scores online. All of the psyops that we've been seeing have been, all of the three things I just pointed out is what China got. All of the psyops we've been experiencing has been helping to get us toward these three things: a military presence in the everyday lives of regular Americans, which is what they got in China, a military state. Trump already got the National Guard out. Drone, AI drone, autonomous police surveillance system working in unison with your camera systems. That's at the, we doing that now with these mass shooters. And if y'all late on that, let me play this video again. We're going to look at some more videos about this new drone network. That's number two. Number three, they're going to say, we also need to look at what people posting online. That's the social crediting score. Them the three pillars of China. We see them all coming under Trump. We also know that in China, they can force vaccines on their people. What else did we see under Trump the first run? Damn. Let me give a shout out to Awakening Mind. Right, bro, they even found the bullets with yet another written message. Said he wrote anti-ice on the bullets. How fitting for the narrative.
Stupid.
All of these mass shooters got this, they like to carve messages on the bullets that's so fitting for the three things I just told you. Come on, man. If you think I'm lying about this new drone system, all of these mass shootings, they already said it, man. The dude said it. He said, we gonna keep saying them. And I'm like, bro, why would you say that? Police everywhere is saying this is the new America, mass shooters. Y'all, it's so crazy because I got my receipts. I'm gonna play some of these, and it's so many. Like there's been so many mass shootings in the past 2 years, leading up to where we at now, where it's just every other day, that the public has been asking, what the hell y'all gonna do about it? And guess what I said when Charlie Kirk died from a rooftop sniper? Why don't we just get drones, duh? I didn't even know then I know that they want a police state, Palantir surveillance. They want the drone AI bots like what China got. But I wasn't even thinking about that when Charlie Kirk got shot. I was like, damn, man, they stupid. All you need is drones. And now I'm like, whoa, that's the psyop. They want us to ask for drone surveillance systems. Let's play the video if you think I'm lying. That's the psyop. They never gonna force it on you. You gonna ask for it. You gonna tell them thank you when they give it to you. Look.
As kids around the country head back to school, one Texas startup says it's working to revolutionize school security using high-tech drones to respond in an emergency in just a matter of seconds. News Nation's Xavier Walton got an exclusive look inside the headquarters of Campus Guardian Angels. Xavier, a lot of people touting this high-flying tool as a game changer when it comes to school safety.
Marky, good morning. They really are. And this is one of those potentially life-saving drones. I'm going to plug it in here. And believe it or not, this thing reaches speeds of 100 miles an hour and can really make all the difference when it comes to school safety.
Why they got Candace Owens and all of the other puppets into the conspiracy on how the snipers killed Charlie Kirk, they need to be asking a question. How did that bullet get stuck in his bone when it goes through bricks? People not questioning the details in the narrative. They just going with the narrative and following the Candace Owens and all of the other people that's pushing the narrative. No one's questioning the narrative, and this how the public gets swayed from the psyops. So it's been so many shootings, and while everyone else is promoting the fear with the shooters and the snipers, you know, the Candace Owens and all them promoting the fear with the conspiracy, everyone else talking about drones. Come on, people, put 2 and 2 together. We see what's going on. While all of the puppets out there pushing the fear from it, the news people are at the same time giving you the solution to the problem that they scaring you about. And here it is.
As kids around the country head back to school, one Texas startup says it's working to revolutionize school security using high-tech drones to respond in an emergency in just a matter of seconds. News Nation's Xavier Walton got an exclusive look.
And you know it's staged because people, these are sleeper cells. That's government MK Ultra sleeper cells, because no regular person is at a school shooting random kids. Come on. These shooters all got the same MO. They just go out in random places in the public killing strangers, and then they themselves are either insane or they kill themselves. You can't really talk to them cohesively. That's a sleeper cell, bro. That's a government implant. And these random shootings at the school, at the church, because they got to make the story juicy for you to be able to beg for more policing. Oh, our children ain't safe. Oh, it was at a church. Oh, it was at a Subway, just a regular place where I'm trying to, everyday, normal job people trying to get by. Oh, yeah, they know how to make the narrative, bro. For real.
Look inside the headquarters of Campus Guardian Angels. Xavier, a lot of people touting this high-flying tool as a game changer when it comes to school safety.
Marky, good morning. They really are. And this is one of those potentially life-saving drones. I'm going to plug it in here. And believe it or not, this thing reaches
Y'all see
speeds
this?
of
Do you see how they gonna sell you a China steak? Look at this dude. He's a good salesman. Look. Wouldn't you just love this flying over your city every day, spying on you, policing you? Look at this thing.
100 miles an hour and can really make all the difference when it comes to school safety.
Redefining fight or flight. The Texas startup.
Now, does that seem practical, y'all? Did you see that? Does that seem practical? We just gonna fly the damn drone into the man. Why don't you just send the police and let him shoot a bullet into the damn man, all right? That's right! This is some real video game, cartoon, non-practical. Look at this shit. Because you can't give the drone a gun, right? But the first step to the Chinese state is to have an excuse to implement the drone first. And this is the implementation of that, the first step. And they got to crawl before they walk. But at this state, it's very funny, like watching a baby trying to walk. Because it's so obvious to see the trick right now at this phase when you catch it early in its infancy. You know, because you saying that this thing isn't even practical, bro. It ain't more practical than a human holding another human at gunpoint. Watch this, y'all.
Difference when it comes to school safety.
The drone is gonna fly at 100 miles per hour and hit the shooter in the arm and knock the gun out of his arm. Stupid.
Stupid.
This is funny, bro. Look at this.
Redefining.
Are you fucking kidding me? The drone can't even knock down a mannequin. And that ain't even a real human. And the mannequin is like, the mannequin took that shit like a champ. The mannequin was like, got some dirt on your shoulder. Let me get it off for you. If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, brush your shoulders off. Like that little drone, like a fly landed on me. Man, move that back out the way. You trying to protect me, protect this hostage with that little drone? If you hit me on my shoulder, I might just shoot the hostage. What? Pow, quit playing, man. Send in some humans. Did you see that? This is funny. Only dumb folks gonna see this and not see that this is funny, bro. Like, come on, man. This is fucking funny. It broke a whole window just to get smacked off a nigga's shoulder. Come on. That shit broke a whole window, bust in like Batman. Boo, kick the window down. Psh, get the fuck out of here. This your drone? Nigga, I just broke your shit. Good entrance, grand entry, bad leaving, my nigga, because, yeah, you made that shit look tough as hell, how it broke that window. But when it hit that mannequin, I'm like, nah, ain't no way it broke that window. That's a fake window. Because if it can't knock the mannequin over, it sure can't bust through that glass, sir. That's right! This is laughable. Bro, take it back. This is fucking comedy. Yo, watch this shit again.
Marky, good morning. They really are. And this is one of those potentially life-saving drones. I'm going to plug it in here. And believe it or not, this thing reaches speed.
It's going to save your life by hitting the killer on the shoulder at 100 miles per hour. And watch how that mannequin react to it.
Speeds of 100 miles an hour and can really make all the difference when it comes to school safety.
Redefining fight or flight.
Come on, man.
The Texas startup Campus Guardian Angel taking safety to the next level.
This is the hardest mission to fly.
That's retired Navy SEAL Bill King. He's a chief tactical officer and co-founder seen in these videos. Campus Guardian Angel, or CGA, giving News Nation an exclusive first look.
You chasing a nigga with a drone just to hit him on the shoulder. Bro, I will intercept that. I will catch that. Well, Sanchez, it'll chop your hands off. Guess what you gonna see niggas have? Baseball bat. Batter up. Come on, drone. Bow! Knocking them things up out the park. All you need is a bat. Come on. You the pitcher. You the pitcher. Soon as it's coming at me. Boom! Nigga, that's a fun game. Come on, I bet you the drone gonna lose every time. People, this is stupid.
Stupid.
This is stupid. It's a little bitty drone. It ain't a threat to no killer, man, with a lethal gun, with a hostage. And instead of you sending in me some police with guns, you somewhere playing with a damn... Bro, this is horrible, bro. I'm telling you. This is horrible right here, bro. Real talk. And for them to show this on the news is funny. Really? Who's scared of a drone hitting them on the shoulder?
They're seen in these videos. Campus Guardian Angel, or CGA, giving News Nation an exclusive first look into its headquarters.
We're shooting pepper. Hey, he dropped his gun. He's wiping his eyes. Okay, now we're going to hit him at 70 miles an hour. Launching.
Okay, that makes sense. But when you talking about a first responder without the police in a hostage situation, you letting that hostage down. For real. But if it's just a shooter on a roof, yeah, hell yeah, because he can't get a good shot because that drone messing him up. It's hitting him on the shoulder. Right? I ain't gonna lie. This would stop an active shooter in a non-lethal way. It would. But we know that ain't the agenda, because guess what y'all gotta realize? In order for you to see the active shooter before he shoot, you got to already have the drones policing suspected areas. This is where you get the excuse to have the surveillance state with the drones. Big brother watching you. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This can stop an active shooter in a rooftop situation especially. But how you know he on the rooftop? You didn't know that dude was up there with Charlie Kirk, because they're gonna say we're gonna already have drones policing the skies. See what I'm saying? They ain't telling you that part. And my thing is, you gonna see these drones in the hood where it ain't no mass shooters and snipers at. You ain't gonna see them in Utah where Charlie got hit at. Trust me.
CGA says they have the top-ranked drone pilots in the world. The drones are mobilized when there's an active shooter alarm. Pilots connect to the school's digital map following the flight plan created by the top commander.
We're trying to buy the time that it takes for a human to get there.
It's firing off, and then you're seeing something like this in real time.
Yeah, this is how we will see.
All of this sound good. From a law enforcement perspective, it's a no-brainer. But this ain't the real agenda, y'all.
Everybody's location to fly that route right there would have taken them, I don't know, 5 seconds. No matter where I find the assailant, I want to have a box that can reach him within 15 seconds.
The goal? Respond within 5 seconds of an active shooter alarm, be on the shooter in 15, and neutralize the threat in 60 seconds.
This is sort of like hostage rescue.
So far this year, 3 school districts in Florida are implementing the pilot program. Several schools in Texas are in consideration, and CGA has already done demos in states like Colorado and Utah. As for price,
it's hard to put a price on the peace of mind that we're creating here, and it's impossible to put a price on somebody's life.
Yeah, so true, Marky. And CGA is very confident that these will actually work. This one doesn't have any non-lethal munitions or anything like that. It does have a camera on it. But guess what? If it's going 100 miles an hour, it doesn't matter if it's armed with anything.
In case y'all don't know what the pilot program is, that's the big brother that China got, but it's starting small, and we just protecting your children. Who gonna push back? See, when they bring in the big brother surveillance system, they're going to bring it in a way where if you push back at it, you're going to look like an evil man, because look, who going to push back at protecting the babies? So what the pilot program is, it's a Texas-based startup called Campus Guardian Angel. And the campus guardian angel program is just Big Brother. The infancy phase of Big Brother. Under the guise of, we just using it to protect the kids, right? The idea is to pre-position drones on school campuses in charging boxes so that when an active shooter is detected, the drones can be remotely deployed immediately. Now, this is what they're not telling y'all. You're gonna have, how do you know that when a shooter is present? If the shooter is on a rooftop, no one walking on the ground gonna see him till you shot already. So what's the point of having a drone just sitting there when it ain't involved in any preventive measures? For example, oftentimes when you know the shooter is there, someone already got shot. It don't make no sense, do it? To just have these expensive ass drones that we paying with our tax dollars and these expensive charging ports where they just sitting there just in case a shooter come all across America. Who getting the contract to make these drones? Because they gonna be rich as hell. But it's stupid because it's like a break in case of an emergency that's so, it like, yeah, there are a lot of mass shootings happen, but they psyops. This is rare. But this is the beginning of the police state.
Because if something like this hits you going that fast, it'll certainly take somebody out.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's going 100 miles an hour. It doesn't matter if it's armed with anything, because if something like this hits you going that fast, it'll certainly take somebody out.
Yeah, it's going to win that battle for sure.
I just don't believe it, because when I saw it hit that mannequin didn't look phased to me. I disagree. I don't think it's going to stop no shooter. The shooter ain't got to do nothing but shoot it. To me, this is just dumb, and it's just an excuse to get what China got in America. And they can't start big, they got to start small. But they going to keep staging these shootings. We done had a lot of shootings in the past 2 years. Look at the dates on these videos. 1 year ago, 2 months ago. Look, this a year ago. These been a lot of shootings in the past 2. Look at this one.
Well, could AI and drones be the answer in preventing the next mass shooting? One company says yes.
Stefan Dingle visits a local company that is developing real-time technology to prevent a mass shooting before it happens. And we want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see may be disturbing and not suitable for young children.
Mass shootings in America have become all too common, from Mandalay Bay to Uvalde and Parkland High School, even one in our own backyard at Brooklyn Homes. In a number of these mass shootings, response times and inaction came under intense scrutiny with law enforcement. Now, a local developer in Prince George's County is creating a technology called PerVista that could reduce response times and notify law enforcement almost immediately.
People go back and look at camera footage after the fact. What we're trying to do is to make sure the police are deployed before something happens, before a call is made.
Every second matters in a mass shooting. However, for Bernard Wright, this innovative idea came about after a recent school bus incident in Prince George's County that showed 3 teens attempting to...
Sleeper cells. No real motive, random shooting. The people get shot, didn't even know the shooter is just some crazy guy that blah, 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 pow, 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 and pow. Like, yeah, that's always suspicious.
To ambush and shoot another student on a school bus earlier this year.
And thankfully, the gun misfired, But that sparked a conversation with our existing state's attorney, Aisha Braveboy, where we went to lunch and she asked me, she said, Bernard, what can we do to solve this problem?
And thus came the solution by way of ProVista, a sophisticated software that leverages artificial intelligence to analyze video streams from surveillance cameras in real time.
And what we're doing is we're going frame by frame, and we've created a data set of known firearms, and what it's doing is analyzing against what it sees for a match in the database.
Bernard and his team coded ProVista to detect long guns and assault-style rifles, which have historically been used in mass shootings.
So what you're seeing up on the screen is that ProVista is picking up in real time that there is a firearm detected.
The reason I'm showing y'all this is because I showed y'all the silliness of them using drones as first responders, as physical attackers to fly into the person. Boom! Ridiculous, right? The reason I want to show you this one, this shows you the surveillance side, the preventative measure. See, this gonna prevent by seeing the shooter before he even can shoot. So that's what I was saying about you got to police the people. You can't stop the shooter if you only there after the fact with your drone, flying it into him, boom. No. You got to see him on the building before he pull the trigger and fly your drone into him while he trying to get his shot right. And in order for you to do that, you got to be policing the area before the fact. This is an excuse to police us and surveil us with the big brother system that they got in China.
And public safety officials are being notified in real time.
Wow.
So ProVista has the ability to be able to send email messages, SMS messages. So not only are alerts coming up on the screen, and think about this being a security guard who's looking,
who's just monitoring what's
going on.
And they're
monitoring, so they're seeing these alerts, but text messages are coming through as well.
You also said it also contrasts colors, dark colors.
That's
so
right.
If this young lady was wearing all black and the gun is black, she's trying to press up against her, this camera would still pick that up.
That's right. And you can see in some of the frames that it is still picking up even when the firearm is directly in front of her.
Indoor and outdoor drones are also part of ProVista's blueprint to empower police with as much information as possible to save lives.
That drone is deployed, and we're making sure that in addition to that, we have a floor plan of the building so we know where to send the drone inside. And places where it's restricted because of doors or some other lack of access, that's where the outdoor drone comes in and they can look in the windows and see.
That's what I'm telling. This what they got in China. You ain't got no privacy. They know your whole. Let's say you got a hidden chamber in your house. They gonna know the layout of your house, the blueprint. I mean, it's gonna be James Bond shit the government got against civilians. You know, but at the same time of them bringing in the drone network AI police system and bringing in the National Guard, don't forget this right here. They're going to start policing social media. China already got it. It's a social crediting score. So they're saying that social media can warn officers of shooters faster than law enforcement can because they're posting all of that. So this is going to be a way of censoring people that's anti-government, all that. They got this in China.
You know, when the shooting was happening, news of a gunman on the loose spread really fast on social media Saturday, and that caused a lot of chaos.
Well, this ain't the what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Law enforcement looking into the posts from the gunman. That's what I'm talking about. So basically what they want is a system that a sort of a profiling system. And this ain't that new to law enforcement. They got plenty of profiling systems to help them find potential suspects before they even pop up, right? Now watch this. With all of the social media data out there, they can use AI to profile certain social media profiles into brackets to show you who's more likely to be an anarchist, a shooter, and all that. And it'll go by people that's posting a lot of anti-government stuff, people that's posting their disdain toward law enforcement, people that's basically anti-establishment, you can do that, right, in America, but now you gotta be spied upon. And that's what's going on in China. It's like a social crediting score to where you people gonna find it hard to get jobs, all that, because this algorithm gonna have you caught up, targeted under these new surveillance systems and this new police state that they bringing to the civilians. They ain't implement all this on a foreign threat. Again, all of this technology is for you and where we're headed in the future. And you know that I'm telling the truth. This is a UN agenda because every government doing this. Ain't no government planning for a war with another country. Every government is strengthening their power and stronghold over the masses with implementations like what we see here. Our government late. They just catching up to what China and other governments been doing. So these governments are buying equipment and training in a way that suggests in the future they're more concerned with policing their own civilians than going to war with each other. And ain't nobody paying attention to that. The way that all of the governments and militaries of the world is moving right now, it's in a way for every country to be part of this NWO dictatorship where all of the leaders are going to be under the beast, which is AI. Everything going to be autonomous and digital and algorithmic. Everything to the criminal justice system. And the new preventive system that they're going to use is going to be an AI system that target the people that is the most anti-establishment. We see it in China now, y'all. Because the profile of these mass shooters is fuck the government, fuck the system. That's the very profile of Malcolm X. That's my profile. Come on, you can't. So you see what they doing, right? Especially when you find out that these mass shooters is their own sleeper cells. They trying to target you with these psyops. See, they got, this is crazy. But now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to end this because I got a whole nother show to prepare for. Salutes to everybody. Appreciate y'all again for all support. I'm going to teleport y'all to our next stream. Thank y'all all who sent in super chats, cash apps. Again, salutes to my Patreons and channel members. See y'all at 5 o'clock. We're going to talk about this doomsday crap. We're going to debunk it. Let's teleport over there now.